Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. That's right everybody, it's the weekly comic book review. It's the show where I read a lot of comic books and I let you know what I thought about them. We always start with the pick of the week, and of course, Fifth Wednesday Blues. Not as many titles out this week, but we still found some good stuff to check out. And the pick of the week is Batman Annual Number 2, written by Tom King with artwork by Lee Weeks as well as Michael Lark. This book was brilliant. It was really, really good. Elizabeth Brettweiser and June Chung, by the way, are the colorists. This book was really, really good. I really, really liked it. Let's talk about the art first of all. Amazing artwork. Lee Weeks did the Elmer Fudd Batman special that just was so good and took everybody completely by surprise. The artwork is really, really great. It's really cool. Perfectly dark. The coloring is great. I love the purple and the pinks. Everything works really, really well. The panel design, the layout. There is some striking, beautiful artwork in this book. So the artwork, of course, is a highlight. Michael Lark does a little bit at the end and it works. That's the page right there though. That page. It's cinematic. It's impactful, it's emotional, it's really, really good. The script by Tom King is really, really solid. And I said in a previous video that I've started to come around on Tom King's Batman, and I was still a little iffy on the Batman-Catwoman romance, or should I say the Bat and Cat romance. But this really sold me on the whole love story between Selina and Bruce. Absolutely. I thought it was great, and it was really, really touching and heartfelt at the end. I'm not even kidding. I really, really like this one. Kind of tugged at the heartstrings, emotionally hit, artistically hits. The script is clean, it's efficient, it's really, really good. It's lighthearted, it's funny, but it's serious and it's dark and it's real. And what Tom King's doing on Batman, I've come to realize is pretty real. I used to say that I felt like Tom King had a 13-year-old's understanding of Batman. No, I think I had a 13-year-old's understanding of Batman, and Tom King is doing something really, really interesting about the character Batman, who he is, why he does what he does. Check out his work. This stuff, it's winning me over. Pick of the week, right there. Another Batman book came out this week, Batman Creature of the Night. Fans may be familiar with Kurt Busiek, the writer. His work before Superman, Secret Identity, kind of like a real-world, Elseworlds, What If, Superman-inspired type thing. Really, really good. This is kind of like a spiritual follow-up to it, focusing on Batman. How the story of Batman can change one young kid's life in the most profound ways. This book was really, really good. Kurt Busiek's script, amazing as always. I was such a huge Kurt Busiek fan in the 90s, loving his work on Avengers, Thunderbolts, Astro City. I just adored Kurt Busiek. This feels like a return to the Kurt Busiek of old that I just absolutely adored. Great dialogue, great narration, great overlapping of the two. Really, really good technique there. John Paul Leon, right? John Paul Leon doing the artwork. Brilliant. Really good stuff. Dark, noirish. Great panel design and layout. This book flows so well. It's $5.99. The art is great. But like I said, it's $5.99, but it's thick. And because of how Busiek writes and how the art is, it takes some time to read. It's meaty. There's a lot to it. This is a really good value. Seriously, if your pull list is light this week because of the Fifth Wednesday, don't overlook this one. This one is something special. Really good right there. Mystik U comes from DC, #1 out this week. Another prestige format type thing, but it doesn't have the nice prestige format that Creature of the Night does. It's still a floppy, even though it's a $5.99 longer story. This is basically a younger Zatanna and other mystical DCU heroes thrown into a Hogwarts Harry Potter type situation. And it seems like a cool concept, seems like something that should work, but it didn't really work for me at all. At first, I was kind of intrigued. The artwork is pretty decent by Mike Norton. The writing, Alyssa Whitney. The script is decent, but the overall story just didn't grab me. Nothing really hooked me into wanting more. It just kind of felt like it was an obvious Zatanna in Hogwarts. I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. Typically, I like Zatanna. I think she's a very interesting character, and I don't think her character was utilized properly in this book. Of course, she's a very young, inexperienced Zatanna in this book, but it just, I don't know. you didn't really grab me with what is Mystical U, and it's neat to see like the House of Mystery and Cain and Abel and all that stuff. That stuff is cool. There are neat little bits in here. The artwork is solid, but it just didn't grab me. It's not enticing me to read anymore. Aquaman Annual, #1 this week from DC Comics. This book was something really, really awesome. I really enjoyed this book. Aquaman has been all right here lately. It's been okay. Dan Abnett's doing an okay job. But this book right here was one of the best Aquaman stories I've read since Jeff Johns stopped writing Aquaman. Seriously, it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with artwork by Max Fiumara, something like that, and Dave Stewart doing the coloring. Dave Stewart of Hellboy fame does a lot of Mike Mignola stuff. The coloring is great. The art is really, really good. Really, really cool. There's some really neat, nifty, textured, detailed things in this book. I really like it. It's kind of like a what-if tale on the future of Aquaman and explores a lot about him and Mira, their relationship, what they want. It's kind of sad, it's tragic, and it's fun, and it's a good single one-and-done story, and it harkens back to a famous moment in Superman history. I'm not going to spoil anything. I really, really enjoyed this book. If you haven't been reading Aquaman, if you just want to maybe check out a good Aquaman book, pick this up. It's really, really good. This annual is a one-and-done story, and it's got so much to it. Great artwork, great script, great story, a great ending. This was really, really good. Almost pick of the week, man. Seriously, these DC annuals this week are something else. Speaking of them, Super Sons Annual #1. This book, not as deep as the Batman and Aquaman one, not as textured and meaty, right? But still a very fun, light-hearted story, focusing mostly on Titus the Bat Hound, right? Though Ace does make a brief appearance, and Crypto the Super Dog, and the other Super Pets. It's a Super Pets adventure, and it's really, really good. A lot of it is kind of silent because you're following around Crypto and Titus, but man, it's fun, and it's great. So you got, it's Paul Pelliter, right, on the artwork, yeah, and Peter Tomasi doing the script. The little bit that Damian and Jonathan are in there are awesome, but seriously, the animals steal the show, and it's cute, and it's fun. And that's what comic books are supposed to be, especially Super Sons, right? Also from DC, we got the New Talent Showcase 2017. I read through this. There's some interesting stuff in here. Throwaway stories that don't really matter too much, but new talent, new artists, new writers, things to check out, right? The highlight, though, is Ibrahim Mustafa doing a Wonder Woman story at the very end with Scott Snyder. Nothing super crazy about the story, but the dude does some great artwork on Wonder Woman, and I think he would be a shoo-in for a future Wonder Woman series. I really like the way he handled the character. She looked big, she looked real, it looked great. I thought that stuff was the best out of that. But it's $7.99. If you want to check it out, there it is. But nothing super, super crazy about it, but it's all right. Right? From Marvel, Old Man Logan steps into Marvel Legacy with issue #31, starting the Scarlet Samurai. I've been liking this book. I thought Jeff Lemire did a great job. Ed Brisson's doing a great job as well. His last story with all the Hulks, that was pretty fun and satisfying. Mike Deodato Jr. is turning in the best artwork of his career. Seriously, the way that he uses his layouts now. This page, look at that right there. That's just, it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. I adore it. It took like typical, like, I don't know, Deodato used to be just a very extreme 90s artist. Lots of muscle, lots of hair, especially when he was doing Thor, right? But dude, his artwork has just gotten better and better. And also the story, you got Old Man Logan in Japan, a Wolverine story in Japan, an appearance by the Gorgon and the Silver Samurai. And what is the secret, the Scarlet Samurai, the secret squirrels, Scarlet Samurai? Scarlet Samurai, what is it? It's interesting. This book was really cool. Old Man Logan continues to be an awesome book. It's almost unnecessary that Wolverine's back because now Old Man Logan, like, this book is solid. And the coolest thing about this one, not really tied into the Mark Miller Old Man Logan. And that's something that's been bothering me about the Old Man Logan book, is just, it's over and over with the same, you know, I don't know. It all harkens back to that. But this is like a Wolverine story. He's just old. It's really cool. I liked it. X-Men Blue #16. Now that the Mojo story is over, I'm back to kind of enjoying this book. I do like this book. An interesting little story that's going on here. Are they teasing something that's actually going to happen, or is it all just fluff for a meaningless story? We shall see. I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it's called Cross Time Capers. It involves the time-displaced X-Men, and reality time needs to be fixed, things like that. Whatever. Maybe they could go back home. I didn't spoil anything. This book, though, was kind of fun. The artwork by Tony Silas was not the best that the series has seen, in my opinion. I just don't think it fits for this kind of book. Cullen Bunn, though, is still writing one of the best X-Men books out right now, X-Men Blue. The characters ring true. The story is fun. It's light. It moves at a brisk pace, and it's cool. And it's a neat little, it's a cool plot. I like it. X-Men Blue's been pretty good. Moon Knight 189, the second issue of Max Bemis's run with Jason Burrows doing the artwork. Artwork is solid, clean, detailed, really neat stuff. Great coloring. Coloring, Ortego. Oh, that's, he's an inker. Matt Lopez is the colorist. Great artwork, really solid. I do like it. Some interesting stuff's going on here. I'm not quite sold on the story yet. I just don't know. Is 2 issues in? What's Max going to do with this book? I don't really know. We shall see. I really miss the days of Warren Ellis, Brian Wood, Jeff Lemire, but I got patience, and I'm excited to see where we're going. This Amon-Ra villain guy is... It's interesting, and we just haven't had a lot of actual Moon Knight yet, and some of the narration in here felt a little stiff to me. But overall, it's not lost me yet, but it's not super grabbing me. But it is interesting. Venom 158. This book is just kind of dumb, but I really like it because it's Venom. It's Eddie Brock, Mark Bagley. That's why I like it. Otherwise, it's the dinosaur thing, Craven running around the sewers. It's just... There are parts of this that are just, I mean, it's silly. It's silly. I think everybody that reads this book reads it because we're Venom fans, and that's why we read it. That's what I think, but I enjoy it, for real. So Marvel's Legacy's been doing these little one-shots, continuing the series, bringing it back for 1 issue. Silver Sable, Power Pack, Master of Kung Fu. Darkhawk number 51 is the final one, I believe. Here it is, and this was the best one out of all of them. I loved this. I thought it was really good. Written by Chad Bowers and Chris Sims, with art by Kev Walker. Yava Tartaglia doing the coloring. Love the artwork. I thought it really worked, especially for a Darkhawk book. Walker drew this character back in Avengers Arena, I believe was that title. It's really cool. Darkhawk is back, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. Fans of the 90s Darkhawk series, you're going to love this. If you've never read a Darkhawk book in your life, you can pick this up, and you'll know everything you ever needed to know about Darkhawk. If they bring one of these back, I want it to be Darkhawk. So if anybody's listening at Marvel, Darkhawk was the one. That was the winner. I really liked that book. I thought it was cool. Of course, I was a big Darkhawk fan back in the day. Other publishers, IDW, Sword of Ages #1. This book is awesome. Do not miss this book. It's the Excalibur myth, King Arthur and the blade and all that stuff, but kind of retold as a sci-fi fantasy, right? So it's like a space fantasy thing. Really cool. Great artwork. It is by Gabriel Rodriguez, who was the penciler, who was the artist on Lock and Key. So this is written, created, and illustrated by him. Amazing artwork. Great detail. Great panel design. The script is actually really cool. Some clever techniques are used in the narrative to move the story forward into the next scene. I just really like this. A great graphic design, great artwork, really cool stuff. Look at this jellyfish. I'm going to show you guys this jellyfish, because this jellyfish thing was super cool. Great artwork, intriguing story, a familiar concept, something that, you just like, oh, so it's like Excalibur in space, but with like fantasy elements. Yeah, but it works so well and it's so good. Do not miss Sword of Ages. That book was something special. Also from IDW, Star Trek Discovery, The Light of Kahless #1. I watched Star Trek Discovery, kind of dig on that show. Checked out the comic fans, hardcore Star Trek fans, hardcore fans of Discovery. You might want to check it out. It's going to explore a little bit of the past of Takuvma, right? Who was the big BA Klingon villain in the first couple episodes, right? So you're going to learn his story in here, a little bit about it. The artwork has really textured and detailed backgrounds, but the foregrounds, the characters, they're a little flat, a little awkward looking. The script's a little stiff. This is only for hardcore fans of the show. If you're not a hardcore Star Trek fan, especially a hardcore Discovery fan, I don't think you're going to get much enjoyment out of this one. Also from IDW this week, we got Giant Killers #0. It's from Omnibus Press, which is the Bart Sears, Ron Mars brainchild. I think this stuff's been in the making for a long time. I think they published some of this and now they're continuing on with it or whatever. Some decent artwork inside of it, some neat coloring, but overall the story was just kind of everywhere. I was very confused. I was lost throughout this entire issue. I wanted to like it. I used to be a huge Bart Sears fan. You remember his Blade series? It was weird for a Blade series, but it was actually really, really cool. Tom Rainey does some of the artwork too. It does feel very 90s, but not necessarily in the good way, but not in the super worse way either. But it's, I don't know, if you're a big, big fan of Bart Sears and what he does and his company, you want to see this continue on, I guess so. This just, I was very lost and confused, and I didn't really care that I was, unfortunately. Eternity #2, the Matt Kent, Trevor Hairsine book from Valiant Comics. It's the next part of Divinity. It's basically Divinity Book 4. I haven't read Divinity Book 1, 2, or 3, but issue #1, even though it's completely lost, boggled my mind so much I came back for issue 2. The story makes a lot more sense now. It's intriguing, great artwork, cool concepts. Amazing, weird, crazy, wild stuff that would make Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko proud. Really cool stuff, a weird script, great artwork, and I'm still confused, but it's making more sense, but it's still appealing. It's something when you're reading a comic book and you have no idea, utterly no idea what is going on, and you're just down. You just keep reading it. You just keep enjoying it. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to read Divinity. I have to now, right? Finally, let's talk about Darkhawk #3, another one from Cullen Bunn that I just absolutely have been loving. Issue 3 was no exception. I love this. Wando's artwork is, I just love it. Very cartoony, right? But the coloring is so bright, so fluorescent. It looks like it's glowing. It looks like the pages are self-illuminated. I absolutely love that. A really fun story, really nifty. I'm liking it a lot. So that's what I read this week. That's what I thought about it. What did you read? What'd you manage to pick up on this 5th Wednesday? Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Love talking to you guys about comic books. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Please do check us out at popculturephilosophers.com and here on YouTube, podcasts, blogs, top 5 lists, movie reviews, all that and a whole lot more. popculturephilosophers.com and here. So please do subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for rocking with us. Keep on reading.